You're still here. Oh, you're probably thinking, can my gaming PC run this beast of a game? Well, to answer that, let me show you something. This is XXX underscore benchmarker Mark 1 underscore XXX. It's a refurbished Sandy Bridge desktop computer from 2011. And yeah, we'll go back to that. This computer comes with a G645, but we're not gonna use that. A GeForce GT610, we're not gonna use that either. Two sticks of 4 gigabytes of RAM that can go up to 1600 megahertz, but will only run at 1067 megahertz because that's the fastest the CPU can handle. And a 320 gigabytes hard disk drive that can go up to 7200 RPM. Now, let's talk about this thing right here. This is a Celeron G440. And get this, it's a 1-core, 1-thread desktop CPU with integrated graphics. It's one of a kind. It's the poopiest, can I say poopiest? Poopiest socketed desktop CPU with integrated graphics in the world. And it's going to be the CPU and GPU of Benchmarker Mark 1. And here it is, Benchmarker Mark 1, with a fully updated Linux Mint 21.2 and firewall enabled. Why is the firewall off by default? Here's the correct specs, by the way. Surprisingly, the iGPU can actually display 1920 by 1080p at 60 FPS in Linux Mint. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And while on the subject, do you know that you might be watching this video in 1080p at 60 FPS right now? Yes, this is a 60 FPS stick figure slideshow video, consuming twice the bandwidth it needs. I hope you have unlimited data. I also installed Mango Hood and Goberlay, which is a good example of why people say using Linux is a pain. In Mint, you first need to install Mango Hood before Goberlay. But of course, you can't just install the software manager version of Mango Hood, and you can't even sudo apt install Mango Hood in the terminal. Instead, you have to download Mango Hood source code and compile that source code, and then install that version of Mango Hood, the one that you just compiled. Otherwise, Mango Hood won't work with Goberlay. Now, you can't just compile Mango Hood, you have to install a bunch of development tools first. Only then you can compile and install Mango Hood, and only then you should install Goberlay from the terminal for the whole thing to properly work. Well, at least it's free. Now, can this machine run Lelele? Let's find out. Lelele version 1.0 versus Benchmarker Mark 1. Here we go! Yeah, it's just a photo of the game running. I can't use OBS on this because it would probably melt the G440. Even if I just use print screen, it adds around 10% more CPU usage. Yeah, poopy CPU. I don't have a 1080p 60fps camera or a capture card computer setup. I'm poor, gomeno sorry. All I have for a camera is this Acer Android phone from 2014. And Acer doesn't even make phones anymore. Their last phone was from 2016. Anyway, so here it is. The screenshot of the game's performance thanks to Mango Hood. As you can see, we can reach 60 FPS with a CPU load of around 30%. The VRAM, RAM, and HDD don't seem to have any bearing on the benchmarking, so we're just not gonna include those in the next video. But the GPU having 0% load is kinda odd. It's either Mango Hood is not familiar with Sandy Bridge integrated GPUs, or I just need to do more tinkering for Mango Hood to see G440's quote-unquote Intel HD graphics. I don't know. If you know, please leave it in the comment section. Thanks. So yeah, it runs. Now, if the CPU load surpasses 92%, that's the time we're gonna upgrade to XXX underscore benchmarker Mark 2 underscore XXX. Make sure that you don't miss that when it happens in the future. But for now, I can confidently say that our generic tennis game can run on a 1-core, 1-thread computer. And if your gaming PC has more than 1 core and 1 thread, you probably can run this too. Yeah, end of video.